In this video we are going to show you how to perform CT test using DV Power CVA500 current and voltage transformer analyzer. We are going to test this CT. As you can see, it has 4 cores, 2 for measurement and 2 for protection. First we are going to test the measurement core, metering core, 1S1, 1S3. Connect primary cables. So we'll use red and black primary cable. So these parts we can connect to P1 and P2 outputs. And on the other side we're gonna connect the small crocodile clips. And here the red one goes to P1, black one goes to P2. Okay, now we're gonna connect secondary cables. So we'll use S1 and S2 outputs, so we need red and yellow cables, so we need 2 of each. So this is 2 red cables. So we're gonna connect 2 S1 outputs. Here 2 yellow cables that we're going to connect to S2 outputs. Now for the connection to the CT secondary, we're going to use these Kelvin crocodile clips. So we need to connect these 2 here, but since they are both male, then we need to use these couplers. So we'll use one red and one black coupler. And here we connect the black one to the black coupler, red one to the red coupler. Okay, so this is now S1 connection. Then we're gonna connect here to 1S1 secondary terminal. And the same we're gonna do with the yellow cables. So again, we need 2 of these couplers, red and black. We can connect them to the Kelvin crocodile clip cable. And the yellow one goes to the, in our case, 1S1, 1S3. Now we're going to connect this yellow and green cable, which is necessary for insulation resistance measurement. So we're going to connect it to the grounding measurement terminal, the CVA500. On the second part here we're going to connect to the yellow and green crocodile clip. And that crocodile clip we need to connect to the grounding terminal on the CT secondary side. And the last one we need to connect is the burden cables. So we're going to use 2 burden cables. We need to connect them to the burden outputs. 1. Second one. And we are going to connect them to our burden. In this video, for the burden, we are going to use this 4.7 ohm resistor. Now we are going to set up the test and perform the test. On the home screen, we select a new test. We select the test object, relevant standard, then we select the CT application, and we select the CT class, in our case 0.5, rated FS is 10, there is no extended current rating here. This is a single tap CT, and we are going to input the nameplate parameters. Primary current 600 amps, secondary current 1 amp, rated burden is 10, rated cosine phi 0.8, and the rated knee point of this CT is 60 volts. Then we can select the test type. In this case we will perform all 6 tests. And in the test options, we can select output parameters. For turns ratio, we are going to select half of the rated knee voltage. Burden we will do with 1 amp, insulation resistance with 1000 volts, and winding resistance with 1 amp. We have set up the test, and we can start the test now. So the first test performed is winding resistance test. So once the result is stable, the winding resistance will automatically be recorded. And CVA500 automatically switches to the next test, which is demagnetization. It is necessary to perform demagnetization after winding resistance and prior to saturation test. After demag, CVA500 will perform saturation test. And after saturation, it's going to perform turns ratio test. The next test to be performed is burden test. And the last test to be performed is insulation resistance test. Here we are going to perform 3 different tests: insulation between primary and secondary, you see that after approximately 10 seconds we have reached the maximum measurement range of 20 gigaohms. So we can now press on button. There is no point to measure further. Now measuring insulation between primary and ground. We have immediately reached the maximum range of 20 gigaohms, so we can press on button. The last one to perform is insulation between secondary terminals and the ground. And again, maximum range of 20 gigaohms, so insulation resistance is probably much higher than 20 gigaohms. So we can press on button. And all the tests are completed. Now we can select any test to view the results. We can see here burden, ratio, saturation, winding resistance. And we also have this composite error. You can see that measured composite error is much higher than rated composite error, and the FS, both direct and indirect, are lower than rated FS, and the automatic assessment indicates that this test is pass. You can check the ratio error. So we have ratio errors for 8 different primary currents and 4 different burdens. Rated burden, half of the rated burden, quarter of the rated burden, and 1 volt amp. So for all of them, the indication of assessment is fail. If we switch to the graphical view, we can see that ratio error at 100% of rated current. In this case is out of prescribed limits for this accuracy class of 0.5. You can also look for the phase error in minutes, again for 8 different primary currents and 4 different burdens. Phase error is pass. At the end we can all save the results. For example, let's say CT first. And the results are saved. So we can leave and we can open those results again in the results menu. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.